Hi everyone. I want to take a little look forward today, a fun look forward, a bit of crystal ball gazing, you could say, all the way to March 2028 and the moment every Tasmanian footy fan is waiting for, the first ever AFL game for the Tasmanian Devils. But here's the big question. Who will the AFL schedule against the Devils in round 1, 2028? And will it be at home or away? And can the Devils actually win it? So today I'm having a crack at predicting the first ever Devils game in 2028. Am I jumping in the gun? Yeah, maybe just a little bit, but it does intrigue me and it's just a bit of fun as well. And I'd love to see your predictions in the comments as well. All right, let's start with the biggest question. Who does the Tasmania Devils play first? I'm just hoping it won't be that guy in Canada just running some old algorithm in his computer that spits out a computer-generated round 1 for the Devils. I mean, we all know the AFL loves storylines, so it's more likely to be a strategic decision. I'm hoping. A big statement. So let's go. Option 1, the Hawthorn Football Club. This one makes a lot of sense to me. Hawthorn already has a presence in Tasmania. They've played games here for years. And yeah, we all know the controversy surrounding them being asked to leave Tasmania. That got a bit spicy, didn't it? So the AFL could turn this into a grudge match. Or said a bit more nicely, a passing of the torch moment. Old Tasmania team versus a new Tasmania team. That's a huge storyline and maybe the start of a big rivalry too. Option 2, the Collingwood Football Club. Now this will be bold. Collingwood, the biggest club with the biggest audience. The AFL might go, let's make this the biggest AFL debut ever. Packed stadium, Thursday or Friday night, massive TV ratings, huge noise. I mean, it all sounds great. But I just don't know if the AFL would ever drag Collingwood away from the MCG. Option 3 then, the Richmond Football Club or the Carlton Football Club. I've put these two together because they normally play each other in the season opener at the MCG. But both these clubs have huge Tassie supporter bases and loads of Tassie members. So instead of a hostile crowd, it could become a divided crowd. Maybe. I mean, have all the Carlton and Richmond fans already swapped over to support the Devils? Or are they still undecided on who they want to support? That actually could be a very interesting matchup between either of them. Option 4, the North Melbourne Football Club. North Melbourne is another interesting one. They basically lived in Hobart for 14 years. So the Devils' first game against a team that represented Hobart for 14 years, that's emotional for a lot of people, especially North Melbourne fans. And it's a bit controversial and a bit of AFL drama. But my prediction? I actually predict the AFL goes with storyline over size. And for me, the story is Hawthorn. So I'm leaning that way. I think that will be the start of a rivalry between the Devils and the Hawks that could really kick off a spicy relationship. But tell me, who do you think we play first in the AFL round 1. Next question. Is it a home game or an away game? Logically, you'd think home, right? Because it's the first ever game, a new team, massive crowd, huge atmosphere. But the AFL also loves to build anticipation. So they might start us away from home, then bring us home the next week for a huge debut. I mean, the AFL actually did that to Fremantle and Port Adelaide. And they did that to Brisbane as well. All those games were away games at the MCG. But surely not. I think the AFL goes big. First game, home game. You shouldn't be launching a new club quietly. Surely you go all in, right? And now this is where it gets a little bit controversial. If it's a home game, where do you play it? There's only 2 choices, we know that. Ninja Stadium in Hobart. Hobart is the capital city. A bigger population, a bigger spotlight, more national media attention. And the training base is based there. And most of the major sponsors are also based in Hobart. Or is it UTAS Stadium? Launceston has hosted AFL for years at UTAS Stadium. And UTAS Stadium does have slightly more fixed seating than a Ninja Stadium, but slightly less overall capacity. It is more central for travellers who are coming from the northwest coast. And we all know how strong the footy culture is on the northwest coast of Tasmania. A lot of fans would actually argue that the north of the state deserves the first home game. If the AFL really wants to unite Tasmania, this decision matters a lot because wherever they choose, the other city is going to feel, well, overlooked, left out. So pick one, Hobart or Launceston. No sitting on the fence. Where do you think the AFL should schedule this game? Hobart or Launceston? Now the big question. Do the Devils win their first ever AFL game? Look, I mean, yes, obviously we don't have a playing list at the moment. No players until the end of next season. So it is very hard to judge what our capability will be by that stage. And expansion teams normally struggle early. New systems, new players, a new coach, and not much chemistry in those early days. So realistically, it will be very tough. But on the other hand, first game, home crowd, emotional energy, that can really lift a team to another level. I mean, a few clubs have actually done it. West Coast, they won their first game. Adelaide, they did it too. And the mighty Brisbane Bears, back in the day, they won their first game in the AFL. So it can be done. I think if the Devils play somebody in the bottom half of the ladder, we have a real chance. If it's a top team, I think, yeah, it'll be tough. And just a couple more things to watch out for. The crowd number. I'm saying an absolute sellout. First game, sellout. And the atmosphere? Absolutely electric. Because this won't be just a game. This will be history. This will be one of the biggest moments in AFL history. And it will be a moment where we'll remember forever. The first game of the Devils. So if you want to predict everything, the opponent, the location, the win or a loss, put it all down in the comments and we'll discuss it down there. Okay, everybody, I'm going to wind that up for today. If you enjoyed today's episode, click the video on your screen now, up here, for our latest Tasmania Devils news. And if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next video. You can subscribe to the channel by clicking the Devils Chat logo up here. I'll see you in the next one. Go Devils.